Hello, my name is Davita Kuhn. I am a Mississippi teacher resident at G.W. Carver Elementary School in Bassfield, Mississippi, where I am in a third grade classroom. Our talking points for today: number 1, citation and summary of articles. Number 2, personal and professional analysis of articles. Number 3, research to practice. And number 4, our closing and conclusion. Number 1, articles and summary of articles. Cultivating Hybrid Text in Multicultural Classrooms, Promise and Challenge is an article by Judith Solskin, Jerry Willett, and Joanne Wilson Keenan. It was published in 2000 in the Research in the Teaching of English journal. The article is a summary of a research project. The author's plan was to examine the possibilities of designing culturally receptive and critical teachings for a diverse student population. The study followed a Latina student in primary school for 2.5 years. The main objective was to formulate classroom literacy programs that followed and coincided with the backgrounds of the home and community environments of the students. To accomplish this goal, the authors asked the family members of the students to visit the classroom to share their life stories. In this way, knowledge of the diverse cultures in the classroom would increase, as well as the value and respect from student to student, teacher to student, and student to teacher. However, during this study, the student's teacher lost crucial, critical moments of new interpretations of the text being covered due to her decision not to solicit valuable input from the Latina student, as she did with other students deemed capable of offering more. Article number 2, Equity and Literacy in the Next Millennium, was published also in the year 2000. It was published in the Reading Research Quarterly. The authors were Catherine Au and Taffy Raphael. Within this article, the authors sought to shed light on the issues of equity as it related to the growing literacy gap between the steadily growing number of minority students and their mainstream counterparts. Within the first section of the article, the authors look at students, teachers, and researchers, the 3 primary groups that have a significant impact on literacy education in schools, the research behind it, and how they are each affected by issues of equity. It was stated that from an ideological viewpoint, the literacy gap is more suggestive of schools' inability to offer sufficient opportunities for students of diverse backgrounds to attain the same literacy skill level as their mainstream peers, and less of an indication of students' actual literacy potential. Within the article, the author suggests a research effort aimed at bringing in more qualified teachers of diverse backgrounds into the teacher workforce, and how to properly educate all teachers to provide instruction and conduct their classrooms in a more culturally responsive manner. The second section of the article looked at altering the meanings of literacy, where ownership is crucial to the understanding, outlook on, and use of literacy. Alter literature, where multicultural representation in literature programs and needs of struggling readers must be addressed, which includes both age-appropriate and instructional level texts. And altering teaching, where there is more of a promotion of roles and responsibilities in instruction, modeling, scaffolding, facilitating, and participating. Personal and professional analysis of articles. Article number 1, while lacking in some ways, presented information that reinforced my initial thoughts of the lack of cultural responsiveness in the classroom. The research project presented in the article maintained the goal of supporting the literacy learning of culturally diverse students and constructing a more democratic and multicultural language arts curriculum. The research is critical to the success of all learners and educators in and out of the classroom. That quote can be found on page 180. In article number 2, while presented in a different way than the first, is much like it in the sense that they both address the issue and responsibility of cultural responsiveness and literacy. The question of How to help teachers understand students whose cultures are different from their own is addressed. The research was thorough and thought-provoking. Both articles invoke a call to action by educators and researchers alike, which in my opinion should always be the case. Research to practice. How can we take this research and put it into practice? Article number 1. The type of perception exhibited by the teacher in the first article is a great hindrance to teaching practices. It not only hinders the opportunity to learn more about others, but it also limits students to less than their potential level of performance. This article sheds light on this essential point in a very significant way and should not be taken lightly. It could mean the difference between a presumably struggling student and a student who is simply culturally misunderstood. Article number 2, the research in the second article is vitally important, as can be seen in the schools in my local community. When teachers are better equipped to serve and tailor instruction to the needs of the specific students in their classrooms, paying close attention to their diverse cultural backgrounds, be it presumably the same or different, the students will have a better opportunity to be on the same literacy level as their mainstream peers.